Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. It is Thursday, so of course, happy Thursday, my friends. And as well as that, hopefully you guys have been doing your homework. I got some that I'm already pre-filming right now as far as the cards that may or may not be able to join Speed Duel. Again, I kind of want to make a week out of it and just have a little bit of fun with that. Um, so that should start next week. And of course, if you guys comment like one or two cards that you think should be included in the discussion, we'll go ahead and we'll put those in the videos as well. So for now, we actually have a viewer submission, which was a basic vampire build, which is actually pretty good. They got second place in their locals with this. It is a 24 card build, and I am missing exactly 2 cards for this. So that said, I got a proxy, and then I've got other stuff. We're going to get this figured out. So let's give you this deck, okay? So first things first, they have chosen to play with the Twisted Personality skill, which is a great skill. Every time a player loses life points, place a counter on this, maximum of 3, which means, my friends, get out your dice. Okay, not so much as rolling, but as placekeeping, or maybe you get some spare change in your pocket, get 3 pennies out, whatever. Use those as your markers. However, once per turn, you may choose to remove counters and do the following skills. If you choose to remove 2, then you get to discard 1 random card from the opponent's hand, which severely limits options. And 2, you get to remove 3 counters from this card and then destroy 1 face-up card that the opponent controls. So, very good stuff. And again, get your dice out. First card that we're going to use, it's going to be the Golden Ladybug. And this is to help mitigate taking damage, because sometimes we will be the ones taking damage. During the standby phase, we may reveal this from the hand. If we do, it remains revealed until the end of the turn. Gain 500 life points. You guys are going to need 2 copies of this. I only have 1. So that's what the die's for. Next up, he goes straight to his 1-ofs, and he rips into 1 Genzo. Because again, what you don't want is you don't want to be combating a lot of trap cards. And again, I get this. This is very good. Next, he's got 2 copies of the Vampire's Curse in his build. And this is another great card. When destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can pay 500 life points. Special summon during the next standby phase. If you do, it gains 500 attack. We go back over here. You see that it does say when loses life points. So this pay is not going to be a big deal, but it is not going to count for this. However, the Vampire Curse ability is offset by the 500 gained per Ladybug. So there is that. Additionally, it will come back stronger, and he wanted me to make sure to let you know that even though I'm always running Shrinks and Books of Moon myself, this guy will still be coming back, because it's always going to be battle that does him in. So again, he's a good card, great card. Next up, 2 copies of the Vampire Familiar. If this card is special summon, you may pay 500 life points, again offset by the Ladybug. Add 1 vampire from the deck to the hand, and that must be a monster with a different name. If this card is in the graveyard, you can send 1 vampire from the hand or face up on the field to the graveyard to special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Each effect is once per turn. So again, this will help us get into special summoning itself in order to board bigger vampires like our Curse. Next up, he does main, because where he plays, he does main for the mirror match. So the Vampire Hunter, not a bad 4-star at a 16/16. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a dark attribute monster card, destroy that monster. Since it will be by effect, this can go toe-to-toe with our opponent's copies of Curse, which again makes it formidable, my friends. Next up, single copy of the Vampire Lord. Again, a 2-1 split here between the Curse. And again, it's just because of how many things kill by battle rather than by effect. This is to go up against the Vampire Hunters. If this card inflicts battle damage to the opponent, declare a card typing, monster, spell, or trap. And the opponent must send 1 of the declared type from the deck to the discard. Once per turn during your next standby phase, after this card in your possession was destroyed and sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, special summon this card from the graveyard. So again, this could be like we attacked into the Vampire Hunter in order to trigger the effect. Vampire Hunter could have attacked him. Whatever's clever, this is going to be a thing. So, very well. Last monster that we are going to use is going to be 3 copies of the Vampire Retainer, which is a really cool looking vampire wolf. I'm loving the split art on this. If this is special summon, you may pay 500. If you do, add 1 vampire spell or trap from the deck to the hand. If this card is in the graveyard, you may send 1 vampire card from the hand or face up on the field to the graveyard in order to special summon this. And again, banish this when it leaves the field. Each effect once per turn. So much like the familiar, in this time we're going after the spell traps, which is why it's a 2/3 to the retainer. Because again, we want Desire. We definitely want Awakening. Those are going to be like the biggest things that we're going to be required to play. So again, this is the monsters. And as you can see, he's got plenty of ways to recall the retainers and the familiars to play the curses, the Vampire Lord, and of course the Genzo. So very well thought out so far. I'm loving this deck. Moving into the spells, we are going to use two of our 3-ups. 2 copies Book of Moon for much the same reason that you would assume. It does shut down, it does disrupt, it is very good. Another way to play out our monsters will be a single copy of Soul Exchange. And then to follow up, 2 copies of Desire. Now, the way Desire works is you'll choose to activate one of the following effects when you activate this. First effect targets a face-up monster that you control. Send a vampire monster from the deck to the graveyard with a different level. If you do, the targeted monster becomes that level of the sent monster in the graveyard until the end of the turn. I'm not sure where the relevance here would be. This will matter probably once we get into Synchro and Xyz eras, but we're not there yet. So first effect, still kind of floundering. Second effect, target a vampire in the graveyard. Send 1 monster you control to the graveyard. If you do, special summon the targeted monster card. So again, this can resurrect our vampires, which is why we're going to be using it. A card I do not own from Trials of the Kingdom, so we've substituted in one from SR07, is the Haunted Shrine. And again, this would be an ultra rare should you have the current speed duel form of this. If you control no monsters, when you activate this, target 1 zombie monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Then additionally, if you control no monsters, you may banish this card in the graveyard, then target a zombie monster in your graveyard and special summon it with effects negated. Each effect is once per turn and only once that turn. Very cool card. But again, note the black sleeve. I just don't have this one in Speed Duel yet. But we might get it in an upcoming section of one of the boxes, as Konami's been doing a heck of reprints for us. The last time we get some really good reprints. The time before that we got some really good reprints. It's only a matter of time before somebody else is going to be playing zombies, and they're going to give us this anyway. So this will be very cool. Next up, 3 copies of the Vampire Awakening. The way this one works is you special summon a vampire from your deck, destroy it during the end phase of the turn. You can only activate 1 of these per turn. Doesn't matter, we could use this for one of the small guys, go ahead and do one of the tribute guys. It's perfect. And then last but not least, 3 copies of Zero Gravity. So, besides just doing an entire battle switch up of all face-up monsters, really allowing you to get into defense mode, you could summon one of these smaller guys, bait the opponent's attack, go to defense, develop into a larger monster on the next turn, and go ahead and crack it and gain advantage. There's a ton of plays that you can do with this. It definitely helps. It helps against the Cloudians and everything else right now. And it's non-targeting, so it'll work on things that, would not be non-targeting. My only advice here, realistically, would be to maybe, since we do have a Genzo in here, to trade off a couple of these traps. And again, I'm not saying Awakening is a bad thing. What I'm saying is Book of Life can be activated on your own turn, and the only real drawback here is your opponent has to have the monster for you to banish. But if you're going to be doing a bunch of damage to them and taking out their cards, this is going to be worth it. Maybe for speed, we could take the Ladybugs and toss them for allures, as this will actually jump the speed of the deck. So even though it is a 24-card deck, you'll have 2 cards that are allowing you to draw them outside of your searches, which will speed this build up. And additionally, you might just decide to take out some more of these. I didn't see anything for the back row, so I guess your only plan there was Genzo. So realistically, there are things that can change, but right now you got second place with it. I can't argue results. This is great. I did go ahead and add the side deck and the extra deck. It's a lot of my generic stuff. So real quick, everybody, pause and notes or screenshot. And I'm just going to throw these cards on the top real quick. So no cleaning up of the table on the in-between. I added my generic extra deck because, again, I think it's good. And then as far as the side, I went ahead, I added a hammer shot because, again, sometimes you need it, but in a bigger deck like this may actually clog and you may never see it. So I probably should have just chose everything at 2s. I did add 2 Mind Crushes because, again, you're already a good player. This is going to make you an even better player. You're going to be able to predict into your opponent's hands and deal whatever you need to deal. 2 Waking the Dragons. This will allow you to special summon any one of those monsters out of your main deck as well. So you can Waken the Dragon Jinzo to the field and make that a little faster. Or you can choose to go into any of the cards in the extra deck, which is perfectly fine. And then, of course, I do have a Wall of Disruption. Now, on the hindsight, what we could have done with the Wall of Disruption and the Hammer Shot, say you'd go ahead and you change one of those Zero Gravities to, let's just say Book of Moon. We could have added these as being 2 Night Beams and then had a little answer for the back row too. So again, I enjoyed seeing your deck. I hope everybody else enjoys this. And guys, if you do, give him a thumbs up. Every thumbs up on this video counts for him, not me. Again, same thing with comments. You know, please give some comments, give some thanks for them sharing this deck with us. It's awesome. And, you know, just enjoy the rest of your day. That's all I'm going to say. Just go out and enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Tomorrow, I have a tech zombie that was planned for today that got pushed till tomorrow. So we're going to be doing that instead. And then we're going to start getting into cards that may or may not destroy speed duels. So look forward to it. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Have a great day. Do the things. All right. See you later.